Amy Vilardi. Her name arrives before the sirens, before the blood, before the questions that never stop coming. A quiet name, attached to a violent ending. The night she died was ordinary, too ordinary, neighbors watching television, streetlights humming, no screams anyone admits to hearing. Amy Vilardi was 26, private, careful, loved routines, and routines don't vanish without reason. When her body was found, the scene felt staged, not rushed, not panicked, but deliberate. Almost patient. Police noted the stillness first, the unnatural calm of the room, as if the violence had already left. No forced entry, no weapon nearby, no clear motive, just Amy, and the silence around her. From the first moment, this case refused to explain itself, and that refusal would haunt everyone who touched it. Detective Marcus Hayes. He stood at the threshold and didn't step inside right away. Veteran instincts told him this wasn't a crime of rage, it was a crime of control. Amy lay positioned, not dumped, not discarded, her hands arranged, her face strangely untouched. The apartment smelled clean, too clean, a detail that immediately raised alarms. Someone had stayed after the killing, long enough to erase themselves, but not long enough to erase doubt. Hayes noticed what wasn't there: no overturned furniture, no broken glass, no signs of a struggle that matched the outcome. The medical examiner whispered timelines, hours, not minutes. Which meant Amy had been with her killer, calmly, quietly. And whatever happened between them unfolded slowly, like a decision being made. Amy's final day. Reconstructed through receipts, messages, half-remembered conversations. She went to work, laughed at a joke, complained about traffic, nothing that hinted at fear. A text sent at 6:42 p.m., casual, friendly. Then nothing. Her phone would later be found charging, placed carefully on the nightstand. No frantic calls, no goodbye message, no warning. Investigators circled that silence like vultures, because silence is where killers hide. Who was she expecting? Who knew her routine well enough to blend into it? Friends described her as cautious, not reckless, not trusting of strangers. Which narrowed the circle and sharpened suspicion. Because Amy didn't open her door for just anyone, a stranger, a random act, an intruder who slipped away unnoticed. It sounded safe, comforting, and completely wrong. Security cameras showed no unfamiliar faces, no strange vehicles lingering. No neighbors reported unusual noises. The building's keycard logs told a colder story. Only one entry matched the time frame. Amy's own. No exits recorded afterward. Meaning whoever entered, never left through the door. Or never needed to. Detective Hayes felt the case tightening, collapsing inward. Random crimes expand, this one shrank. Every answer removed possibilities instead of adding them. And when a case grows smaller, it gets more dangerous. Because eventually, there's nowhere left for the truth to hide. Julian Reed. Amy's boyfriend, 3 years together, no criminal record, no obvious red flags. He discovered the body, or so he said. His alibi was thin, a late shift, a coworker who couldn't remember exact times. Grief wrapped around him like armor, public, dramatic, convincing. Too convincing, some thought. Detectives noted inconsistencies, minor, forgettable, the kind people dismiss. But small cracks matter. Julian said the apartment door was unlocked, but the latch showed otherwise. He said Amy had been stressed, but her friends disagreed. Every interview added another shadow, never enough to accuse, always enough to doubt. And doubt became the fuel driving the investigation forward. Bruising beneath the skin, controlled pressure, sustained. Not a sudden blow, but prolonged contact. This wasn't chaos, it was intention. Time of death narrowed to a 2-hour window, overlapping Julian's supposed absence. But not conclusively, never conclusively. No defensive wounds. A detail that disturbed everyone. Why hadn't Amy fought? Was she unconscious, restrained, or did she trust the person hurting her? Trust is the most dangerous weapon. The autopsy left investigators with more questions than answers. Because the body told a story, but not the whole one. And whatever chapters were missing, someone had taken them away. A co-worker with a crush, cleared. An ex-friend with resentment, alibi solid. A delivery driver spotted nearby, wrong time. Each lead burned brightly, then died. The media grew restless, demanding a villain. Online forums dissected Amy's life, blaming her choices, rewriting her story. Detective Hayes pushed back, knowing noise hides truth. But pressure mounted, from superiors, from the public, from Amy's family. They wanted answers, closure, something to hold on to. Instead, the case stagnated. Months passed, evidence aged, memories softened. And the killer remained exactly where they started. Invisible, patient, watching the investigation unravel itself. The cleaning smell. Investigators revisited it after a year. A chemical analysis revealed a specific solvent, uncommon, industrial. Not something most households keep. Records traced it to a local renovation company. Julian Reed's company. The connection felt electric, terrifying. But possession wasn't proof. He claimed he'd used it days earlier, spilled some, cleaned up. Receipts supported him, barely. Again, the truth hovered just out of reach. Close enough to feel, too distant to grasp. And the case slipped once more into uncertainty. Found hidden behind old tax documents, overlooked, forgotten. Sparse entries, mundane thoughts. Until the last page. A single sentence, written days before her death. I think I made a mistake trusting him. No name, no context. Just fear compressed into ink. Detective Hayes felt the room change when he read it. Trust, again. Julian denied knowing about the journal, dismissed it as stress. But the sentence lingered, echoing through every interview. If Amy was afraid, why didn't she leave? Or did she try, and fail? The journal didn't accuse, but it remembered. Officially, quietly, painfully. Evidence boxed, files shelved. Julian moved away, started over. Amy's family kept waiting, birthdays passing without candles. Years later, a new detective reopened the file. Fresh eyes, less patience. They noticed something old investigators hadn't. The position of Amy's phone. Charging, angled, as if set down mid-conversation. The call log revealed a deleted outgoing call, seconds long. To Julian. Made during the estimated time of death. Someone had removed it, carefully. Someone who knew how to hide. Julian sat older, calmer, less guarded. He agreed to talk, confident time had protected him. Detectives let him speak, ramble, contradict himself. Then showed him the call record, restored, undeniable. His face changed, just slightly. He said Amy called to argue. But records showed no connection. The call never completed. Which meant Amy tried to call. And couldn't. Because she was already losing control. Already restrained. Already realizing the mistake she'd written about. The room went silent. And in that silence, the truth finally breathed. Julian never left that night. He staged his absence, returned through the maintenance access. He cleaned, waited, then discovered her. The grief was performance, the patience was strategy. Amy hadn't been surprised, she'd been betrayed. The final twist cut deeper. He didn't plan to kill her. He planned to stop her from leaving. And stayed too long, pressed too hard, waited too calmly. Love became control Control became murder. The journal wasn't a warning, it was a goodbye. And the call she never finished. Was Amy realizing, far too late, that the danger was already inside the room?